Guys, I'm finally putting the planetary set up here for the blade lift on the old 14E road grader. There's the planetary setup right there. Got text messages coming in. Here is this. Okay, this is a goofy setup. This is what they call a differential ring gear setup. Okay, so you'll see here we got a broken tooth with this one. It got water in it and froze up, and it broke a tooth. And you'll see that there's one gear here. See where it's separated here, and this other gear? Those run two different ring gears in there. Okay. So another thing you'll notice that these teeth are straight across from each other, right? Okay, well, I didn't know. I've never had one of these apart. So, something else I had to learn. I've got the CAT Sys program. And all you do when you go into 14E road grader and put the serial number in there, all it gives you is the parts manual. There's no service manual on CAT Sys that I have. Unless I need to update my Sys. But anyway, you'll notice something else. Okay, so I got the new gear right here. Notice the teeth are straight across from each other. Now you'll come over here and you'll look. Notice how these teeth here are offset? Same thing with these teeth. Well, I tried and I tried and I tried and I could not get it to go in there. So I called my customer and I said, man, I got to find a book on this thing. He says, well, we got a book. I said, well, bring it over here. So here we go. I got to figure this out, see? So, okay, install Planet Gear A, which has both sets of gear teeth in alignment in any one of the 3 locations in carrier, along with 2 bearing assemblies, spacer, and steel washers. Okay, install Gear B, which has the rear set of teeth offset to the left of the front set of gear teeth. So here's A. Here's B. I see. Set of gear teeth offset to the left front set of gear teeth next to gear A in a clockwise direction, along with 2. Yeah. So what do we got here? So we're going this away. So if I got that one there, the rear set of teeth. Are they calling? Would this be the rear set of teeth? I'm guessing. So that's wrong if that's what I'm thinking. If this is what they're calling the rear set of teeth, then this one needs to be here and this one needs to be here. That's what I'm gathering. Because here's what they're looking at. They're looking at the top of, so here's gear B, right? I see that they've got kind of one set of teeth highlighted. The rear set of teeth, though. I'm not really, what are they calling the front and what are they calling the rear? God dang phone going off. This might ring deal there at the house and it won't ever quit going off. I gotta mute it because, yeah, come on, let's mute that thing. So I'm tired of listening to it. Okay, so I guess I need to figure out, let me look at this and figure out what they're calling the rear. Are they calling the rear towards the back of the machine? Is that what they're calling the rear? Let me figure out what they're calling the rear first, I guess. Okay, so let's go back over this again. I've had a lot of phone calls and things going on. Install Gear B, which has the rear set of gear teeth offset to the left of the front set of gear teeth next to Gear A in a clockwise direction. So I was trying to discern what they were calling the rear. So here's what I'm thinking. This is going towards the front of the machine. This actually gets turned this way and sets down in there. Now looking at their picture here, I'm trying to discern. They've got the little highlighted section kind of seems like it's over the top. Yeah, the rear would actually be the top, is what I'm thinking. So if we're going in a clockwise direction, these, I'm thinking these are supposed to be over here. Okay, that's why I only put one bolt in this, because I knew something was wrong. Let me get something to set the camera on real quick. Not really sure what I'm going to set it on right now. A bucket or something to point it at this thing. Hang on a minute. Okay, I'm thinking here now, if I take lock plate out, what if I turn the gear? That gear is this tooth is offset. Wait, what the hell, no? This would be the rear, right? What the hell, man, this is confusing. So install gear B, which has the rear set of teeth offset to the left of the front set of teeth. That. So that would be right then on that one. So obviously the other one's probably going to be offset to the right, is what I'm thinking. Install the remaining planet gear C, which has the rear set of teeth offset to the right of the front set of gear teeth. Oh, let's see here. Their picture is like really, really confusing. It's not much of a picture, to be honest with you. Let me see what I got over here. So here's this one. This would be A, B, C. So these should be offset to the right of those teeth. It's not making any sense. How do you look at that, though? How do you discern what's right and what's left? Boy, that's really, really confusing, because look at the bottom tooth. I guess that would be towards the right, but which tooth though? See, that's what's confusing. This tooth can be to the right, this tooth can be to the left. What the hell are they talking about? Really, really confusing. I'm telling you, that's really, really poor directions. I mean, Mark, tell me what you're calling the front and what you're calling the rear. The front of the machine, the rear of the machine, the front of the carrier, the rear of the... I mean, what are you calling the front and what are you calling the rear here, man? Come on. Pretty stupid, really, the way they've done this. Install gear B, which has the rear set of teeth offset to the left of the front set of gear teeth. Huh. I don't really know, guys. I'm really like confused. I really don't understand what they're, because if you take this gear and you turn it upside down, it's going to be in the same spot. See what I'm saying? You can take this gear out of here and turn it upside down, it's going to be the same way. It doesn't make any sense what they're talking about. So this would be A, this would be B, this would be C. This tooth is to the right. This tooth is to the left of this tooth. So the way that it's looking right now, it's already set up right. If I've got their front and their rear correctly orientated, which I really don't know if I have the front and rear orientated correctly. How do you know that? I mean, is this the rear or is this the front? I mean, who fucking knows? I'm just guessing that maybe this part here goes towards the front of the machine, and this, once it's in there, the drive gear's down here. So I'm guessing this is the front. Wow. This is the front. I'm backwards, ain't I? This is the front. Okay. This is the front set of teeth, I think. I need a screwdriver or something. I think I'm backwards on my front and rear is what the problem is. This is actually the front, the one that's facing up. So what I've got going on is, yeah, these, okay, let me see here. Yeah, so front, rear. The rear is offset to the left of the front. So if I take that, this thing's got spacers and washers and all kinds of shit in here, and bearings, and there's a set of needle bearings and a spacer in here. So if I take that and go like that, does that do anything for me? So now, bottom set of teeth are offset to the left of the, this would be the front, this would be the rear. Let me take this back out and see if I can figure this out in my mind. So if I'm like this, these are offset to the left of these teeth. If I turn it this way, these are offset to the right of these teeth. I need to be like this. Okay. Wow, that's something else. Whoever figured this shit out has got some brain power. Just get them lined up, and then I can get these spacers. And these go a certain way in there. Let me look at, I can't remember. How did that go in there? Wonderful. Cool. Yeah, the bronze looking one was on the bottom. That's right. It goes up against the housing. Okay. Okay. I'll put these in here. Try to orientate them and get them lined up. Alright. Now that's A, B, C. So if that one's backwards, this one, these teeth, which would be the rear, should be offset to the right. That means it's backwards as well. One of them guys had a book. So now if I'm looking at this, these teeth back set should be offset to the right, right? The back teeth. So these, that's left. Now they're right. Okay. See, I'm having trouble here. I cannot get it to, I can't get anything to line up. If I put the, I get one set of teeth to line up. So it's almost like these teeth, everything's upside down is what it acts like. Or I've tried that though. I've tried this thing in multiple ways and I can't get it to line up. So it tells you that you can put the one with the lined up teeth on any part. These gears have the same, do they have the same part number or, oh, I don't think this one's offset as much as that one is. That's might be where I've got going on, is I might have to have this shaft over here and this shaft over here. That's what I'm wondering. Let's read that because I probably screwed up. I didn't know. Caution, planet gears A, B, and C can be installed end for end in their respective locations in planet carrier, but must not be interchanged with respect to each other within the planet carrier. Can be installed end for end in their respective locations in planet carrier, but must not be interchanged with respect to each other within the planet carrier. Now I get it. Now I get it. I bet you if you look in this part, here's a parts book. I bet you that gear, I bet you there's 3 different part numbers for those gears, and I've got them in the wrong ones. View of carrier assembly from power input end. Power input end. Okay, yeah, that's going to be where the shaft comes through. Okay, so number 1, gear, 13 teeth. Number 2 is bolt. Number 3, number 4, they all have different part numbers. They all have 13 teeth and they all have different part numbers. Okay, so here's my thinking. Let me take the carrier back out of there now that I know. I didn't know that when I took it apart. I think I got the front and rear figured out. But I think I got my gears backwards here to each other. So this one here But if you're reading the book, planet gear A, which has both sets of gear teeth in alignment in any one of the locations. Okay, so how would you discern if you didn't have the part numbers are gone off the gears. If the part numbers were still on the gears, this would be an easy thing to do. But the part numbers are gone off the gears. So, clockwise, I'm going to if I switch shafts, I'm going to have to turn them upside down. So what I'm going to do is take this one out. It's going to have to go like that. This one needs to go here. It needs to go like this. Let me see if I can clean this gear up. Maybe there's a part number I can read. Doug over there at CamCat told me the part number would be right on the end if it was still readable. He said most of the time you can't read them, it rubs them off. Can't read it. Yeah, there's no part number left on it. I'm finally starting to make some kind of sense. Like I was telling you, it doesn't matter what way you turn that gear. You can flip that gear upside down and the teeth are always going to be orientated to the right or to the left. They're going to be orientated the same. Just notice the spacer in this thing. Maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. So this is to the right. This one's orientated to the right. This would be gear, this is gear C. See, maybe I've got, no. I had it together right. I really think I had it together right. I mean, there's no other way that I can think of. This one's to the left. This one's orientated to the left. Or am I backwards in my thinking here? As far as front and rear, is this to the? See, that's the thing. If this was the rear of the thing, yeah, this one would be to the left. But if this was the front and this was the rear, this one would be to the right. See, they're not very clear on what their front and rear is on this thing. It's pretty confusing. So what I'm going to do is just turn it around the other way. I called this in the rear last time. Or actually, what did I do there? I called that the front. And I called that the rear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, we're going to go in a clockwise rotation here. Because if you're looking at this picture they got, here's the lock plate and the bolts. And they're going around like this, right? So this would be gear B in a clockwise and they're saying B's to the left. B, which has the rear set of teeth. Are they calling the bottom of that sumbitch the rear? let's just, I don't know, try to, pretty confusing, isn't it? Maybe somebody who's done 100 of them, probably no problem, but I'm confused. So I'm gonna say the rear, I called this, I don't even remember what the fuck they did, to be honest with you. That's to the right. This is the left one, I think. Or is it backwards? Are they calling this the rear and these are to the left? I don't know. I'm gonna try it this way. If I ever do one of these again, I'm going to pay special attention the way this comes apart. Holy cow, man. And see, it doesn't matter which way you go here, they're going to be the same, what I was trying to tell you. That is pretty confusing. I don't know how you can put it together backwards because it won't line up inside the carrier. Boy, that sucker's not wanting to come out of there. That sucker is not wanting to come out of there. Okay, I think I finally got it. I basically had the gears out of arrangement. Every one of these gears, the first gear that has the teeth straight across, well, it's this one here. You can put it anywhere. You could put it here, you could put it here, it doesn't matter. As long as you get the clockwise. So then, well, let me explain. So the gear B, the back set of teeth have to be what they're calling the back set of teeth. Which is, I finally figured out what they were calling the back set of teeth. I had this gear here and this gear here. I had them backwards. Every one of these gears has a different part number. Gear B has the back set of teeth offset to the left of the front set of teeth. So they're calling this the back set of teeth. This is the front set of teeth. Actually, no, I'm backwards on that. They're calling this the back set of teeth. As you can see, this one's offset to the left of this tooth. Over here, this is gear C. This tooth is offset to the right of this tooth. See, that's where I was wrong. I had two problems. I had the front and the back, what they were calling it, backwards in my mind, and then I had the gears in the wrong spots. I had gear C in gear B position and gear C in gear B position. So I had everything you could possibly have wrong on it. Okay, this drive gear that goes on the end of the shaft, it goes on one way and that's it. So you can tell just from the way this gear is set, it don't go that way. See how the teeth are slanted? They're not straight. That's the way it goes. See how they mesh now? It's a pretty tricky thing putting this thing together. So if that goes that way, that means it needs to go this way. Okay. So the keyway is all sloppy in this thing, so it's kind of tricky. See, and it's not a tapered shaft, and it's not a tapered hole in the gear, it's a straight cut shaft. It's a press fit. It's kind of a little bit tricky getting it right, because the key keeps wanting to walk out on you. So what I did last time that worked out pretty good, well, I had it on wrong once, and I couldn't get it to mesh up down there. I didn't have the book. Okay, I think we got it right. Now, yeah, it's you kind of need to really be paying attention to what you're doing on this thing. Now, this whole setup. It's a finger getter right there. Yeah, she lines up now. I gotta get the teeth to spline up down there. No, I'm not even touching there yet. Being ornery. Don't help when this thing don't sit right, you know. I think we got that part. Now, go get the other half and put on there. Just take the other ring gear. Take it. It'll go on there like so. Housing up that goes into and then set it on here. Okay, so I had this, I thought, setting right. And it wouldn't tip too far on me, just like that. Keep in mind, I will be picking this up with my crane when I get it back together. I'm not picking this up by hand. Hell, it's kind of nice the carrier. This ring at least comes apart from the housing. Makes it a little bit lighter and easier to manage when you're putting it together. Okay. Now, need to probably get some bolts started from the bottom side of it and then flip it over and then tighten them all up. I'm trying to remember, this thing's got a bracket on it that goes around it. I'm trying to remember where the bracket was bolted to on the housing. I don't remember. Just don't want to flop it over and all this shit fall apart on it. So I guess I'll just stick one bolt in it for now. Figure out which way I'm off. Obviously I was off a little bit clockwise. I had to go counterclockwise there a little bit. I've got a bolt kind of holding it together. I wonder if I should just go ahead and I better pull it on up. Pull it on up. And we'll flop it over. See where we're at. Okay. Now let's flop it over. Now I can tell where the bolts. Let's see here. Where they had that bracket was right here. Looks like the rest of those were bolts, but I think there was a space is what there was. I guess we ought to make sure we put the nail in there, make sure it turns. Now we got to put it on the grater. You can see shiny spots where the lock washer's bit down on it. And then a gap here, so. And that's the thing, I got to pull it in here. I got to take the torch and cut that one part of the bracket they got off there because they welded that on afterwards, and I'm not going to be able to get it back in there right without cutting that off and then re-welding it back on there.